I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Hey y'all, it's Kay from the Literary Apothecary, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another Books My Boyfriend Gave Me series. Now today we're going to be talking about this book. Yes, Can Holding in a Fart Kill You? This was a book that John gave me, wanting to hear that title on the channel mostly. I learned a lot from reading this book, and just to get it out of the way, I know you all are dying to know the answer to our title question, can holding in a fart kill you, is no. According to this author, at least, it cannot. Gases that build up and causes farts are poisonous or toxic to the human body, though you will feel discomfort if you hold it in for too long. So there's our answer for that. In just a minute, I'll get to a couple more questions and answers. So first, in this video is going to be a little bit different. First, I'm going to do a really quick review of the book, and then I'm going to talk about my top 10 most interesting facts that I've learned from reading Can Holding in a Fart Kill You? So, our review. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. While I learned a ton reading this book, I felt like it had a desperate need for humor. Based on the title, I thought it was going to be a lot funnier than it was. It was just straight facts. Unless it was that really dry sense of humor that did not translate well onto the page. I did not find that humor at all, and I needed a little bit of humor to go with all of these facts. Also, my bigger problem with this book is full of facts, full of things that this author has learned, but he doesn't cite a single source. The only time he ever cites things is at the very end, where he's citing all of where the pictures came from that he used in this book, which are all just Instagram handles. He doesn't give proper citations for those either. So it makes me, as an academic, distrust this author and what he has told me, because he hasn't cited any of his sources. He says he's learned all of this, but he doesn't say where he's learned it from. So that, to me, knocked it down to 3 stars, definitely. So let's get into the 10 most interesting facts that I've learned from this book. Our first question up: why is the ocean salty? And now I will also preface this by saying, please forgive me a little bit, because I kind of paraphrased these answers, because we got like entire paragraphs worth of answering this question. So I kind of paraphrased it. If I got facts wrong, the actual fact parts came from the author. So if there's something that you think that is wrong, blame the author, don't blame me. I'm just translating his words. So why is the ocean salty? Short answer to a long question: the sodium and chloride. So salts in seawater are increased by the gradual dissolution of the Earth's crust and the erosion of rocks and mountains. Rainwater is slightly acidic from carbon dioxide that is absorbed from the air. This erodes the rocks down to mainly sodium and chloride, which then goes into rainwater into the ocean. And by the way, only fresh water is evaporated, which just adds on to the salt in the oceans, the seawater. And it's estimated that 50 billion tons of salt are in the oceans today. So that was really eye-opening. I knew a lot about, the sodium and the chloride in the water and the rain and whatnot, but I didn't know there was that much salt in the ocean. Our next question: what is the origin of the Scottish kilt? Y'all know I'm obsessed with Scottish culture, and of course, in that we have the Scottish kilts. The word kilt comes from the Norse word kilt, spelled differently, K-J-I-L-T. I think that J is supposed to be silent, but y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Which means plaited. And it the traditional kilt is very similar to what the Vikings wore when they came to Scotland, when they moved. In 1600, soldiers were started wearing kilts. And then we have the modern day kilt in 1692. It's believed that both different military regiments had different tartans, so you could tell the difference between what regiment they were on, and also different clans. So of course I had to include that one because it's Scottish and the kilt. Our next question up, what is the history of pizza? So it's thought that the Greeks brought pizza to Italy in the 1st century AD. However, there was also discoveries made in the ruins in Pompeii from the Mount Vesuvius explosion that dates back to 79 AD. Pizza first appeared near Naples and Rome in 1000 AD. Naples is thought to be the origin of modern day pizza as we know it. Raphael Esposito in 1830 opened the first modern day pizzeria. And pizza at that time was mainly a poor person food. Then King Umberto and Queen Margherita came to visit Esposito's pizzeria, and Raphael created a pizza that looked like the Italian flag. Queen Margherita was impressed with it, and that is how we got the Margherita pizza. And then in 1897, Gennaro Lombardi brought pizza from Naples to the US in New York City. He opened a general store that also sold pizza. At that time, Italian immigrants mostly ate the pizza until our troops returned from World War II. Then pizza became really popular and pizzerias started opening everywhere because the troops had so much pizza when they were stationed in Italy. So that is, according to our author, the story of pizza, which is one of my favorite foods. I love me some pizza. Question 3, what is household dust? Now we all know what dust is. They're particles from the air, from your skin, from blankets, clothing, all of that, into tiny minuscule particles. But one thing that I learned here and why it made it interesting to me was that people with dust allergies are actually allergic to dust mite excrement. So dust is one of my main allergies. I'm allergic to dust, mold, pollen, dog hair, cat hair. So for me, I didn't know that. No one has ever told me that. They've just said you could be allergic to dust, and then I have the sneezing and the reactions when it gets too dusty. I didn't know that what I'm actually allergic to, dust mite poop, and not the dust in the air itself, which makes so much more sense because I'm like, dust is everywhere. How can you be allergic to dust? Also, fun facts, 90% of those with allergic asthma are allergic to dust mites. Our next question, is time travel possible? Let's make it possible. I love time travel in my stories. It's one of my favorite tropes, actions, whatever you want to call it. I absolutely love it. This author says, in theory, yes, it's possible. One would have to travel faster than 186,000 miles per second. However, with present technology, it is not possible. So in theory, it's possible, but in practice, not. And he also states that probably not in our lifetime, in the future, maybe way down in the future, but not anytime soon. Why do people have fingerprints? This was interesting because I never really thought about it. Each fingerprint is very distinct to the people, to a person. Even identical twins have their very own fingerprints. And I learned that if a person's finger is damaged, say like you burn your finger so much that finger will eventually heal to restore your original fingerprint. So the only way to actually get rid of your original fingerprint is to basically chop off a finger. That to me was so fascinating in itself. according to this author and the research that he's done, fingerprints are basically there to help you grip things. And that's why they're in that circle swirl shape that they are. If we didn't have the fingerprints, things would be a lot slipperier on our hands. And he said they especially come in handy for, say, monkeys that are climbing trees. What are crocodile tears? Now, I'm sure plenty of you have heard the phrase crocodile tears, don't cry crocodile tears, you know, that kind of thing. But what are crocodile tears? No one's ever explained that. So essentially, the very short answer is they're fake tears. Crocodiles have no tear ducts. Therefore, they cannot cry. They cannot produce tears. Instead, they have glands in their eyes that produce a fluid to help lubricate their eyes if they are out of water for too long. And this, lubricant is often there when they're eating. Next question up. Now, this is a literary question, so I thought it'd be perfect for this channel. Was the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde based on a real person? Yes. Robert Louis Stevenson used the story of William Brodie, a Scottish cabinet maker, locksmith, security system installer, trusted city councillor, and deacon of the Incorporation of Wrights and Masons as the basis of the tale of strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He was also, on top of all of that, a thief and a gambler. And he snuck into the rich people's houses at night that he installed the locks and the security systems for and robbed them. In 1788, he was arrested for his crimes and he was hung by gallows that he himself built, which was just fascinating to me. Now we're almost done, so bear with me and bear with this glare. Of course, I'm trying out a new lighting system, and one of the woes of wearing glasses is you get this glare. So I'm trying to find ways to avoid it, but I'm still working on it. I think we have just 2 questions and answers left. So, did the Lost City of Atlantis exist? Ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated with the story of the Lost City of Atlantis. And according to this author, yes, possibly a good chance that the Lost City of Atlantis existed. There are salt marshes off of Spain's southern coast that they got satellite images from and then matched them up to Pluto's description of the city of Atlantis when he was supposedly there, and they match up too well to be a coincidence. So a lot of researchers now believe the Lost City of Atlantis was once located off of the coast of Spain, which is so exciting to me. And then our last question is a good one. Now we're going into the science fiction realm. Is there life on Mars? Short answer, yes. Scientists have found both methane and ammonia on Mars. Methane could last no more than a few hundred years without being replenished, and it's formed only by volcanic activity or life forms, and there has been no signs of volcanoes anywhere on Mars that scientists have been able to find. The other reason why many scientists believe now there either was or currently is life on Mars is because of the ammonia, which is made up of mostly nitrogen and hydrogen. And although nitrogen is rare on Mars, no life form can exist without it. So those are my top 10 most interesting facts that I've learned from Can Holding In a Fart Kill You? Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite fact that I talked about here? If you've by happen chance read this book before, let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite fact that you found in that book? As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love y'all to the moon and back. Bye.